If you have some experience with the R programming language or Python in particular, utilizing the Pandas software library, you're going to hopefully find this lecture useful. And this is because in this lecture, what I want to do is show you the equivalent pieces of code in R, Python, and SAS. And I want to start by showing you how to create data sets with these three languages. So I'll first start with R. Now I will be doing all of this inside of WPS, or the World Programming System. And yes, it is absolutely possible to program in R, Python, and SAS inside of WPS, but this is not what this video is about. It could be a course on its own, in fact. So let's get right down to it. So to get access to the R programming language in WPS, you type in proc R and then semicolon, and then on the next line, submit semicolon. Now the proc R and submit allow us to use R inside of WPS, so we won't focus on those pieces of code. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to create three columns or three variables using the R programming language. So let me go ahead and create the first variable. I'm going to type first underscore name, and then I'm going to use this less than sign and the hyphen. So this pointing arrow to the first underscore name is the assignment operator in R. And what that simply means is that all the stuff that I put on the right hand side, they're going to be first names in this case, are going to be assigned to this variable, first underscore name. Next, I'll type C, opening parentheses, and then double quotation marks to open this up, and I'll type in my first name, Jordan. Then I'll do double quotations to close that. Then I'll do a comma. Larry, again, double quotation marks around Larry, comma, and then double quotation marks around, let's say, Sarah. And then I'll do the closing parentheses. Now the C is the C function. It combines the names in this case, and when it combines it, it returns a vector, and a vector is just a one-dimensional array. Next, I'll go ahead and create two more variables, last underscore name and an age variable. You'll notice that the code is almost 100% the same as in that first variable. The only difference is that with age, you will see that in regards to the values, there's no double quotation marks around, because in this case, we have numbers, not letters. Next, we're going to use the data.frame function to bring these vectors together, to bring it into a data frame, which is just a table with columns and rows. The result of bringing these three individual vectors or variables together will be stored in this variable. So the final thing we just need to do is print. So we type print and then just feed it the input that it needs, which is the name of the variable where this is being stored. The end submit statement tells WPS that we're finished using our R code. And then we finally need a run statement as well. And now we can run our code. Now onto Python. I'll be using the Pandas library. Here I will create a dictionary of lists. Dictionaries allow you to associate a key and a value. In our case here, I want to associate the first underscore name with values like Jordan, Larry, and Sarah. And the same thing for last underscore name, and the same for an age. as we did with R, we want to now turn this dictionary of lists into a data frame. So we just use the data frame constructor, which is a special method, to do that. And then we will print like we did with R. Now let's take a look at the output. Finally, let me show you how to do the equivalent thing with Sass. I'll type in data, space, personnel, and semicolon. So the data step, which this is, and we know it's a data step because we've started with the data statement, allows you to create a data set, which is another really word for a table. And a table has columns and rows. So with Sass, right from the start, you know that you're going to create a table or you're going to be manipulating a table. Then on the next line, I'll go ahead and type input, and then I will type in the name of the three variables. And you will notice that for first underscore name and last underscore name, they have a $sign beside them. The $sign beside first underscore name and last underscore name is there because we are telling Sass that these will be character variables. Age, on the other hand, doesn't have a $sign because it is made up of number values, so it is numeric. That's quite a bit different than R and Python, where we indicate what something is by rather putting quotation marks or an apostrophe around it to signify it's a character variable, or not putting anything around it, which signifies it is a number. Next, I'll type in data lines semicolon, and the data line statement literally tells Sass that there will be lines of data coming up next. And this is exactly what I do next, but what's different here is that I actually type in the data just how I would do it inside of, let's say, a spreadsheet like Excel, with just a space in between each of the values. And then I just end it off with run semicolon. And finally, I'll go ahead and highlight that code and run it. And there we are. Looks good. You'll have a resource attached to this lesson that will give you some more examples in terms of equivalent code between these three languages. Thank you.